Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process used by plants and other autotrophic organisms to convert light energy, usually from the sun, into chemical energy that can be used by the organism. Photosynthesis usually gives off oxygen as a waste product as well. Oxygen is not something that the plant or other autotrophic organism will need in most cases, and so it will give off oxygen as a waste product. Now, autotrophic means that these organisms make their own food. They are capable of creating their own food. They can harness the light energy and create their own source of nourishment. Heterotrophs cannot do that and must rely on autotrophs or other heterotrophs for their nourishment. Most plants, most algae, and cyanobacteria perform photosynthesis and are called photoautotrophs. So, autotrophs are organisms that can create their own food. Photoautotrophs are organisms that create their own food from light, since photo translates to light, looking at the Latin root for that word. These are organisms that can create their own nourishment from light. Photosynthesis maintains atmospheric oxygen levels and supplies most of the energy necessary for life on Earth. So, as these autotrophic organisms take in carbon dioxide, they let out oxygen and help maintain the atmospheric oxygen levels, because people and other organisms exhale carbon dioxide, and the plants or other autotrophs take that carbon dioxide in and turn it back into oxygen, which we breathe. So if we didn't have photosynthesis, we'd be running low on oxygen. And so photosynthesis helps maintain our oxygen levels. It also supplies most of the energy necessary for life on Earth. Even though you don't feel like you're eating light or getting your energy just from light, if you eat a vegetable, then you're eating something that it has only been able to grow because it used light energy to provide nourishment for itself. So you are now eating that plant, which got its energy and was able to grow from light. If you were to eat a cow, if you had beef, if you had a hamburger, then you would be eating another heterotroph. Cows can't make their own food, but they ate grass and other vegetables and other foods that were grown, and they were grown by having light energy harnessed inside those plants, and so the cow got the energy from the plant, which got the energy from the light, and then you were getting energy from the cow. So it all comes back to the light energy. So while there are other sources of energy, the light energy is a primary source for everything going on Earth. Photosynthesis always begins when energy from light is absorbed by proteins that contain green chlorophyll pigments. So, the autotrophs that perform photosynthesis don't always look green, but somewhere in their body, they're going to have these chlorophyll pigments that are able to take in and absorb light to start the process of photosynthesis. And photosynthesis occurs in two stages. You have your light reactions or light-dependent reactions, so these depend on light to happen, and it's when organisms capture and store the light energy. The light energy is converted to chemical energy in the form of NADPH and ATP. So in this light reaction or light-dependent reaction stage, the light energy is actually captured, turned into a chemical form of energy that can be stored or immediately used if necessary. In the carbon dioxide fixing reactions or light independent reactions. These are ones that can happen even whenever light isn't present, as long as there was some energy harnessed in that plant already. So these don't have to happen while there is light present supplying energy. They can happen later. And this is when the formed NADPH and ATP, so it's already stored and formed in that autotroph. Those two energy molecules drive the reduction of carbon dioxide to more useful organic compounds, such as glucose. And they are also referred to as the Calvin or Calvin-Benson cycle. So when the carbon dioxide is reduced, that process can be called the Calvin or Calvin-Benson cycle as well. So even though this is a light-independent reaction, it does still depend on molecules that were created by converting light energy into a stored chemical energy. So even though we call them light independent, they really couldn't occur if you didn't have the light transferring, the light energy that was able to be transferred to these energy molecules that are stored chemically. The main thing to remember about photosynthesis is that it is the process by which autotrophs can make their own energy using light.